everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'll get right to the point. Happy to be joined by my colleague, Commissioner Dana Barrett, and our County Manager, Dick Anderson. So, despite months of discussions and ongoing good faith efforts, on the part of Fulton County, the City of Atlanta still has not provided a signed intergovernmental agreement to Fulton County for animal services as of this afternoon. The latest information we received from the city is that there could be May before we have a final signed agreement. Now, in the absence of a signed agreement, a signed intergovernmental agreement with any city, that we do not have authority to provide animal control services inside such city. So, if we continue to do so, we are exposing ourselves to liability. For more than 3 months, we have continued services in the City of Atlanta in good faith, with Atlanta's promise of a signed intergovernmental agreement, but we cannot continue to do so. Therefore, as of today, April 5th at 5 p.m., responsibility for animal services within the city limits of Atlanta will revert to the City of Atlanta. All calls for animal services within the city limits of Atlanta will be directed to the City of Atlanta. Now, this was a difficult decision after months and months of discussion and follow-up, but in the end, the city left us with no other option. Now, it is unfair to taxpayers in all of our other cities to ask that they subsidize the services within the City of Atlanta, which is by far the greatest user of animal control services, constituting 55% of all calls. In fact, just yesterday, we received 35 animal control calls, of which 25 were for services from within the City of Atlanta. Now, to recap the events that led us here, last summer, Fulton County communicated with each of our 15 cities about the changes in fees, including the increases. Information about these fees was first shared with the City of Atlanta in July of 2023. In October of 2023, the agreement was provided to the City of Atlanta for signature. Keep in mind, all 14 other cities within Fulton County had already signed the agreement with similar proportionate increases reflecting their usage and current costs. All had signed but the City of Atlanta. These costs reflect only the true cost of service, nothing at all to do with the construction, no profit or fees to Fulton County. We, Fulton County, are bearing the cost of the construction. Now, while the cities are responsible for the cost for the service, it is important to note that Fulton County, as I said, is bearing the entire cost for the new animal shelter. This new facility replaced an outdated, overcrowded facility that had been in use for more than 40 years and had been cited by the Georgia Department of Agriculture. New service agreements were to take effect January 1st, 2024. Now, we're more than 3 months past that deadline and have continued providing these services within the City of Atlanta in good faith, believing that an agreement would be signed. But despite repeated reminders and notice 2 weeks ago that we would cease services without a signed agreement, the city's failure to take action brings us to today. Now, what does this mean? It means that the City of Atlanta must immediately, as of 5 p.m. today, take responsibility for all calls about animal control services within the city limits of Atlanta. Now, we share the concerns of many residents about what this change means for public safety in our larger cities, and we will be glad to reconsider our position upon receipt of a final executed intergovernmental agreement signed by the Mayor of Atlanta. Thank you for being here, and we'll take questions, and we'll hear from Commissioner Dana Barrett.